Good evening, everyone. This is Lola over at Be Kind Botanicals, and I wanted to share something that I really needed today for myself. First I'm going to say, don't pay any attention to my shirt. This is Gold Digger. I got actually quite a few interesting looks today. I had a cashier at the local grocery store look at me and she says, well, that's kind of brazen. And so I turned to her so she could really read it. She says, oh, she said, Gold Digger. I said, yes. And the story behind this shirt is that I have a crafting friend who does the vinyls on shirts and things, and she knew that I had started back into my strengthening routine again, because just as most women out there, we all struggle with a few things, and turning 40 this year, I'm really beginning to struggle a lot more than what I had in the past. And so my goal is not to look at the scale, but to really get stronger and watch things happen as they're meant to be, because women are meant to be strong. So anyway, that's the story behind this shirt. I got it because I really wanted to have something that would really push me and remind me of what my long-term goal is. And so that's the story behind this shirt. There was something else I was gonna say. Oh, so back to the soul nourishing essential oils. There are 1,000,001 different ways that you can look at using essential oils, obviously. And I know I've mentioned them before, that you can use them topically, you can use them via inhalation, whether it's a little inhaler, aroma stick, or a diffuser, tea light diffuser, whatever it is. There's 1,000,000 different ways to use them. And it's all very, very personal. Hi, Courtney. Thanks for joining. And the biggest thing I want you guys to take away from this is that the essential oils that I'm going to be sharing and talking about, they're very personal to me. And how I use them is very, very personal. And when I use them, I mean, I'm going to be real with you guys. I do not always live the most charmed life. I have some great days and I have some down days. And the last couple days, while I'd like to blame it on retrograde, there are clearly some things in my life that I need to work on. And I have absolutely seen this over the last few days. And so today, when I finally had my moment of breakdown, breakthrough, if you will, my husband, who was supposed to be sleeping, got up and was like, you just need to get yourself back to you. He said, do whatever it is that you need to do, whether it's have a social kumbaya, or go outside, or play with your essential oils. He said, you just need to work on you today. And it took me a few hours to realize what he meant. And when it really came down to it, even though he may not see things the way that I see things, I think he was really talking to the way that I not only energetically feel, but how things are inside, that very guided part of you that has great days and has bad days. And today was one of those tough days for me. And so I wanted to share with you some essential oils that I have found to be very, very soul nourishing. And the first one that I want to share is rose. If you've been on the website, you know it's not released yet, and I'm not going to release it until I get the analysis. I'm really, really sorry. I'm very particular about the essential oils. I mean, it smells amazing, but just because our nose says it's amazing, it's the analysis that really says what it is. So I'm waiting on the analysis. But rose in general, for me, it's literally, if you were able to take 1,000,000 flowers and just put their essence right in the palm of your hands, just a quick smell of rose, there's so much maturity and wisdom and grace in it, and just beauty, that you can't help but be nourished by this in some piece of your soul. And for me, my grandfather used to grow roses in Norwalk, California, right at the front of his house, and he showed me how to prune them, the whole 9 yards. And so roses have a very special place in my heart. And so I do like to work with rose, although because it is a very expensive product to make, it's also one of those that I use very sparingly. But I will tell you, if you're looking to get long-term benefits from it, grab an aroma stick or a aromatherapy inhaler and just put 1 drop on it. Seriously, 1 drop is so potent and powerful, it will knock you on your feet, or off of your feet rather. So rose is one that I use a lot as far as really nourishing myself. The next one that I use, not too often, but when I need a little bit more of a pick-me-up and I need something that is going to reach a little bit deeper into my psyche as well as my soul, if you will, I use neroli. And neroli for me is sweet and uplifting at the same time. It's very soothing, and it really speaks to my heart, but it also speaks to my mind and lets me know that it's okay for the heart and the mind to be joined together. So that's neroli, and that's one that today I took a drop of that in a little my rose. And the next one that I wanted to share with you is sandalwood. This one I do have available on the website, and it took me forever and a day to find one. But I really liked and was sure about the sustainability factor with it. I know a lot of you look at my webpage, you're like, oh, kindness for everyone. Well, it also translates out to plants, how we use them, you know, whether we're over harvesting, under harvesting, things like that. And with this particular sandalwood, it is grown and harvested in Australia, and it's done in a very ethical manner, and that's why I chose the distiller for this one. And with this one, it allows me to be really, really grounded. It allows me a little bit more peace of mind, if you will. And so as far as soul nourishing, it definitely is comforting. You know, so for example, when I like to blend, I try to blend based off some basic perfumer information. Hi Jennifer, thanks for joining. And so I try to pick a base note, and sandalwood is definitely a base note, and it's very good for your heart. It's very good for a million different things. But in terms of having a base note, this is what I use. So I use a drop of sandalwood, a drop of rose, and a drop of neroli. So you have, you know, a little bit of everything all the way through, and you get your flowers, you get your citrus, you get your woodsy notes, but you have a base, a middle, and a top note in that blend. And I just take all 3 drops and I put those right in a little aroma inhaler stick. And that's what I've been using today, because, you know, having the month that I think most of us have had, where it's been very challenging, we've had to really work to make things happen, I guess. I know for me personally, my husband's been on nights, so that's been very, very difficult. You know, 6 nights a week and just working some crazy, crazy hours. I'm extremely worried about his mental sanity, because when he has to wake up midway through the day and I know he should be sleeping, I feel really bad. And at the same time, when he's your best friend, what are you gonna do? So, but that was the blend I used today. And because I know those essential oils are really, really, really expensive, I do have a couple alternatives that I have in blends. One is my meditation blend. I know most people are familiar with it. I use it a lot just to really soothe myself and calm myself down, especially when I miss being outside and I can't be outside. Like today was the day that I just couldn't be outside much. This blend has alligator juniper, it has myrrh, it has frankincense, and it's also got a little bit of clary sage. So it's a very balancing, grounding blend. And then my other favorite blend, which I used quite a bit today, is my balance blend. This is probably my most popular blend. I seriously was at a point earlier this year that I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to offer it with the vanilla shortage that was happening. And I finally was able to get a hold of some vanilla CO2. So the balance blend, and it is one of those blends. It's floral, but it's a little spicy. It's also very soothing and calming. It is definitely, as far as soul nourishing, it covers just about everything and anything. And the essential oils in this blend are geranium, go figure, grapefruit, frankincense, patchouli, believe it or not, and then the vanilla CO2. And I use that blend off and on all the time when I don't want to dip into my more expensive oils, because it is just that soothing for me. And as someone who, like I said, I'm human just like the rest of you guys, sometimes I have those days where I just really need to get a little balance in my life, and today was one of those days. So that's why I chose that blend. And those are the ones that I typically use when we're talking about those soul nourishing blends, those blends that, or blends and essential oils rather, that make us feel good, that bring us to our happy place, that put us in a much better position to allow our hearts and our minds to really think and work together in a better harmony, if you will. And that harmony that we can get from allowing all of our different facets of life to work in a harmonious way, if you will, are what I consider to be soul nourishing. And these blends and essential oils do that for me. I hope that you have enjoyed this little video. I'm probably going to do another one next week, although I have no idea what the topic is going to be, so stay tuned for me to tell you what that is. And if you have any ideas for a topic, please feel free to pop those in the comments, and I will see what we can do about sharing some more information for you. All right, that's it. Thanks so much for joining me, everybody.